What's going on, my babies? Welcome back to another episode of the Spiritual Word. As always, I apologize for any noises in the background in advance and in anything of that nature. So, in today's episode, I want to talk. Oh, wait, before I start these, I like to start these off with a disclaimer by stating that these are for entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research to come to your own conclusions, to have your own answers, to make your own decisions, and I believe in your ability to do so and to be your own person. So, in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the wants and Juanitas of my life. And if you've been here long enough, you know that we read Star Where You Are by Pema Trojan, and that book that is a really good book, and I recommend going to listen to those episodes if you haven't listened to those episodes, or just reading the book for yourself, because the way that I read, not okay. I stutter a lot, but so anyways, besides that, one of the chapters talks about the wands and Juanitas of your life and how to use the wands and Juanitas of your life to your advantage. And I just dropped all of my cards that I'm playing with again. And the wands and Juanitas of your life are just the people who annoy you and the people who drive you crazy, the people who drive you up the wall. Trying not to hit my desk when I came back up. And the wands and Juanitas of my life have taught me so freaking much. And they've taught me so much compassion. Just because a lot of the times these people, they don't mean to be the wands and Juanitas of your life. They just are. Because they don't know that they're doing something that you don't like. And even if you tell them that you don't like that, it's who they are. I think that a lot of people forget that because they want someone to act the way that they want them to. You know? Like if your kids annoy you and you're a parent, you just tell them, stop that. You know? And if they listen to you, they listen to you. And if they don't, they don't. So I think your kids could be your wands and Juanitas, especially if they're little. Because the younger they are, I feel like the more rebellious they are. Because they don't know any better. And or it could be the same vice versa. There's like a sweet spot where they're like 8 to 10, where they do listen to you and they love you so freaking much and you're their superhero, and then all of a sudden once they hit their teens, they're like, oh, I don't like you. So so I sat down like 2 days ago, or no, maybe it was last night. I don't remember. Time is very irrelevant to me, but first, let me give you some background. So 2 weeks ago, I had dreamt about my guides telling me that I need to be nicer to these people, to people in general, just because I don't want to get stuck in the same cycle that I've been in, which is that I'm just mean and grouchy, and I, don't care to have people in my life because fuck all of you. And I don't need to be that person that's closed off to the world. And so, not that I was ever really like that, just because I pushed myself extremely hard to not be like that. But in the back of my mind, that's how I feel. I really dislike humanity. But it's not humanity, it's just the things that humanity does. I don't approve of a lot of things that they do. But then again, I'm not their mom. I'm nobody's mom. I'm not God. Who am I to judge? So, in that particular moment, I had a dream 2 weeks ago where my guides are like, we're giving you this intelligence and this wisdom for you to use it towards compassion. So use it towards compassion. And that was it. It wasn't like, do this. It was like, we're giving you this for this. You can do what you want because you have free will, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay, you're right. And then I sat down, I think it was yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I need to give my dad a lot more credit because I'm really mean to my dad. I'm really mean to my dad. But it's because, you know what? I don't even have excuses. I'm just really mean to my dad. And so in that moment, I was like, why am I so mean to him? I need to use my I need to use my intelligence towards compassion. And one of these people that I need to be compassionate towards is my dad. Because although, bullshit happens, the ones and Juanitas are going to be the most prominent people in your life. And for me, it just happens to be my dad and one of my siblings. So, I just have to love and accept this person for who they are because they love and accept me for who I am. And then I sat back and I was like, you know what? This person does so much for me. And I never really looked at it that way because of how much I want this person to just be perfect to me and how much I put this person on a pedestal. I actually didn't even recognize that I put my dad on a pedestal until like a long time ago. Like I want to say like a year ago. And I put my dad on a pedestal because I want him to be this perfect version that I know he could be. But the reality of it is that he's already his perfect version. And I want him to be the way that I want, not the way that he actually is. And so I sat back and I was thinking to myself, like my childhood and where he used to take me and my siblings and how much he used to take us out to eat and how much he used to actually like be a really good parent. Like I never had any lack when it came to like security. Like I always felt safe. And I didn't have any type of like my dad never abused me. And I can only remember getting hit 3 times ever in my whole life. And, you know, my relationship, my personal experience with him is that just he's just annoying. Like that's really it. And so my one in Juanita is learning from that annoyance. Why do I get annoyed so fast? And what is this teaching me? It's teaching me more compassion, not towards him specifically, but all the people that I find annoying. And if I can get through and be, on a really good note with him as much as possible, because obviously it's not going to be 100% of the time, at least not in the beginning, then I can have so much more compassion towards everybody because I will look at these people as though they are already someone in my life, you know? And all the strangers that I walk by that I'm not necessarily compassionate towards, I'll have more empathy for these people because they're somebody's dad, they're somebody's mom, they're somebody's kid, and they're somebody's sibling, There's somebody's mom, somebody's dad, somebody's cousin, somebody's uncle. Just because they're not my dad doesn't make a difference. And so yesterday I had that epiphany and I was like, oh my gosh, I should be so freaking grateful. And it ended my night on a really good note because I was like, oh, you know what? I should just be really freaking grateful because, like, shit is constantly happening, and why am I going to be another addition to why the world is absolutely god awful? And I should change that. And it starts with who I am. And then I realized that, I'm doing that by caring enough to do that. And caring enough to show up every single time that I need to show up. And sometimes I do need reminders, and sometimes I remind myself. Like my guides, angels, deities. I don't think that guides, angels, and deities are just like actual guides and deities. You know what I mean? I think that they're us. They're ourselves reminding us. And it's manifestations of ourselves because we need to be reminded. Because everybody's mean. And everybody has pride and ego and love and hate. And we all have those qualities. So, there's just another way to remind us. Anyways, I'm gonna end this here just because I feel like 8 minutes is long enough. So thanks for tuning in, tapping in. If you're interested in science, psychology, spirituality, self-help, then I recommend subbing or following whatever platform you're finding me on. I have an audio and a video version. One's on YouTube. The rest are on podcast platforms. They're both named The Spiritual Word. I'm your host, Jackie. I upload Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. And if all of these things are something you're interested in, then I recommend subbing or following. And thanks for being here. As always, my babies, I love you and I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.